Give me 2 minutes, guys. Give me 3 minutes. We're gonna get this thing started here in about 3 minutes. Give me 3 minutes.
The power of the sun in the palm of my hand. All right, guys, let's get this rocking here.
For PCE, final GDP is still worse than expected. Very bearish news here. For PCE, also really negative here. So let's take a look at this here. For PCE, actually very neutral. Final GDP worse than expected. Unemployment claims higher than expected. So bearish news here. As we lead into Thursday, going into Friday, we have a lot of bearish news. Okay. Even unemployment change, core PCE, CPI. Let's take a look at Friday here. Same thing, year over year. This is going to be big news tomorrow. I think this will affect markets for sure. But I mean, from what I'm looking at here, just in general here, we can kind of see where price is headed at this current moment. Somewhat neutral, not too much movement. The hell was upgraded premium? That's weird. Okay. For me, I do see this moving to the upside. What the hell? Let me fix this, guys, for a second. What the hell's going on the premium? So give me 1 second. Let me check the time. Second. So, meantime. All right, taking a look at this, guys. Give me a second. Okay, so what we're gonna notice here is, give me a second, guys. My thought process here with Dixie. I mean, it still needs to fill. That's my thing. It still needs to come back up here and fill. I mean, it looks like it's creating a lower low here. But this here still needs to be filled. So my thought process here, yeah. Dixie could go lower here. In the meantime, during order flow. Seeing some bullish movement here. That's kind of like what I'm expecting. Right? I'm expecting some bullish movement here. Fill in the gap, price discrepancy. This is in straight order flow. So SPX hasn't moved. Yeah, look at this. It's actually, wow, the average daily range of this is horrible. 22%. What does that mean? That means it's moved on average 22% compared to how it usually moves, right? This is very, very bearish. There's just not any movement. I think that's the biggest thing. Right? Yeah, the last Asian range moved about a solid, how was it? Like 17,000 points. You have 1,500 here. My bias stays the same. I believe we're going to be stuck in order flow until something massive happens. And just understanding SPX here is kind of what's giving me this perspective of calling buys around this particular zone here. I want to take a look at even getting a pullback here is solid. So this institutional candle here is what we want to target. this in particular, here to here, it's kind of what I see long term. Could believe that a lot of this war could be priced in. Even if, let's say, you have a full-blown reversal, like let's say Trump goes on social and says, hey, we're gonna bomb Iran again, which is a huge possibility because this guy flip-flops every fucking day. Let's see what he's saying today, just because I need to have a Discord Trump tracker. Look, you see, this is what he placed 9 hours ago. See, like, it's kind of stuff like this. He's basically kind of being passive aggressive, saying, yeah, you know, our military is still going to be there at the Strait of Hormuz. Very passive aggressive behavior, right? Because at the end of the day, you could talk like that, but being passive aggressive here like that is just going to instantly
Remember, with great power comes great responsibility.
yeah, so this is kind of my thought process here. This is what I'm looking at. To be honest, I'm gonna put this in the chat. This is kind of like my perspective here. First TP would be obviously this zone, second TP here, third TP here. As we're waiting for price to pull back, this is kind of what I'm looking at. Now, if we start to see breaks of structure to the upside, which is a possibility, right? We'll start to see breaks of structure maybe here, but I see order flow happening, internal mitigations, which is what you're already seeing, right? Until you see a pop up, whether that's a peace agreement or something along those lines, entertained. What we do know is that structure was broken here. See this? Structure was broken for sure. So with structure being broken, you know, you're for sure to see that price will go bearish here and go lower. Along with the Asian range being broken to the downside, I could see this here swiping some liquidity and heading lower. For me, it's just a little too in the middle to get into some buys. I like to get a really clean entry, which would be at these lows here. And that entry really came at, like, let's say 6 a.m. or even like 4 a.m. I honestly believe it could sell off here. Best entry case scenario here or here, we take a long-term swing at this here for highs. But that's kind of what my thought process is here. I don't want to get in this here unless, because it's at the middle of everything here. Like, you're trading a range which is super small, and we're in the middle of that range. Very dumb to get into a trade like that. So let's just wait for the highs and lows. I mean, if you're going to buy or short this, guys, you want to go for lows. See what I'm saying? Like, at least go for lows, or at least go for some of these highs here of the range. Right now, it's not doing anything. It's really at 10 to 20% capacity. SPX, same thing with US 30. We're at 10 to 20% capacity. NAS, kind of the same subject here. And you're seeing, let's say Russell do kind of the same thing here. Right, yeah. You're kind of seeing the same thing happen here. I'm just looking at some of the stuff, guys, here right now as well. Low volatility, dude. Very, very low volatility. I want to take some trades here, but if the setup's not there, I'm not taking anything yet. Oil broke structure here. So let's talk about oil. Let's go over oil here, because oil broke structure. 100%. So let's look at now internal structure here, because it's in order flow, right? We'll call this a BOS, external break of structure here. So let's look at, like, Indecision's broken. This indecision right here hasn't been broken yet. This is a very low indecision. I wouldn't honestly even take this indecision as serious. Internal cells. Yeah, this thing is going to come up a little higher before it goes bearish. I see these areas here. Price of oil to move downward. Unless we get into more war. Wow, this looks good. Gold buys looks really, really great. It actually went to this area here. Yeah, gold is a buy for sure. Wow, I wish I checked gold first about 30 minutes ago. 9 a.m. Yeah, gold is a buy for sure. I'm taking gold buys here. Right here. Gold is a buy for sure. Full-blown extension at least up to these highs. Gold is a buy. Gold, I repeat guys, gold is a buy. I'm looking for a pullback here. This area was where I was placing my original buy here, but price looks like it might just go to the upside here. Gold is a buy for sure. Look for a pullback here. I'm looking for buys right here in this particular zone. Full-blown extension should lead us at least to the previous indecisional candles or 2.618, which would be this area right here. What you're also looking at is you should look for some type of pullback. Okay, coming here. If that pullback doesn't come, you'll probably see a pullback come to at least this indecision or this order block right here. Right? So wait for a pullback, but you're going to look for gold buys. At least is what I'm going to be looking for. I want to look for buys for sure. Okay. So these are the areas here that I'm looking at for buys. Copy link. This is where I'm going. This is where I'm looking at buys. So that's what I'm looking at. Let's take a look at what else we have here. We have gold buys running right now. Gold futures is pulling back. Gold futures kind of giving me the same idea here. We're going to want to target gold highs. Any pullback that you could find with gold futures, same kind of subject here, right? You're looking at buys here. Look for the pullback. Wait for a reversal around 40 minutes here. That's kind of what I'm looking at. USD CAD, we got stopped out of. To be honest, this was based off of the previous market. Swipe of liquidity everywhere. To be honest, I made some money here and got stopped out too. I honestly don't want to call anything until this whole thing is kind of just not over, but I'm just kind of over this volatility right now. It's any little tweet is switching markets. Gold is what I'm most confident in. I think gold will come to 5,000 at least. So we're gonna just keep buying gold. Focus on gold buys here, guys. Very easy buys with gold. Bitcoin. Wow, Bitcoin's not really doing anything either. I personally want to look for more sells here for Bitcoin. Once we reach this zone, I want to look for sells. I believe we're in order flow here for Bitcoin. Order flow, constant, this right here. Okay. This is order flow. Buyer liquidity being grabbed here. Let's go back to SPX. Okay, so I'm kind of giving you guys the signal for XPX. This is where I'm going to take the trade. Right now, SPX is a little bit bullish right now. Looks like it wants to break structure, but if it doesn't, it just swipes liquidity. If it does, then we're going to head towards these highs and these highs. I'm looking for buys here, and I'm looking for buys here. This is what I'm doing. As for, let's say, the rest of the indices, I'm not really taking a look at those, but I am looking at oil. I'm going to short oil around 107, but I'm going to look at that institutional 100 number here, which is where it's bouncing off of. I kind of want to take shorts here. Then buys for gold. Gold is 100% a buy. I called buys around this specific area for a pullback. I wish I looked at gold first, but right now it's lifting off. What we're looking for is this. Pullbacks here at least. Any pullback here, you're going to see price come here. And we're for sure certain that gold is going to go to at least these highs of 4,800. But most importantly, if we're looking at a fib level, we're aiming towards 5,000. So this is going to be an easy buy for the rest of the month. So I'm excited because even if we do miss this impulse move here, long term, this is what we're going to see. We're going to see gold come here, mitigate, pull back, then we get into more buys, and then we run to the upside. Gold is going to be buys all week next week. Now we have some type of direction here. All right, guys, that kind of sums up our session here. Other than that, this is kind of what I'm looking at, looking for just pullbacks here in markets, but markets kind of already rallied here as we were on the session, at least a little bit before. What I'm going to try to attempt here with this flip challenge that's going to be happening live in about 2 weeks is we're going to hop on maybe 1 hour earlier. Only reason why is because a lot of the movements from what I've been noticing have been happening earlier throughout the day. So like 8 a.m. I've been seeing reversals, and then 8:20, 8:30 a.m. Like I'm looking at that area, specifically with gold and in particularly with SPX here. You're looking at a lot of reversals coming earlier than normal. Like 7 a.m., 8:30 a.m. You're seeing a lot of movement happening earlier than the normal 10 a.m. time. Even with CAD, 8:20 a.m. So I'm going to try to move these sessions to 8 a.m. and then move them for 2 hours here. That's what I'm going to be attempting to do on April 21st. So stay patient. We're going to get that rocking, guys, and get that rolling. So other than that, I appreciate y'all. Love y'all, and I will talk to y'all soon. Those are kind of my ideas here for now, and we will check those out in just a bit. This guy's funny.